Om. Dear Swami, this is yet another session for us to get closer to you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity with Brother Al and Sister Roseanne. We're going strong in us after completing 2 years of being together, and we are discovering you, Swami, within us. Please continue to guide us to find you within us through these sessions and learning it and applying it as we go through it every month. We want to feel your presence, and we pray to you to keep us all focused and gain the most of the time that we are here together. Please be with us, Swami. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram. We place ourselves lovingly at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, and we pray that he be the doer of this meditation and all that is, as well as speak through us, live in us, love through us all, and bring peace, happiness, and prosperity to all beings, please. So Sai Ram to you all. It's very nice to get back together after such a long hiatus. Sorry it was so long. We had several things occurring simultaneously. It was difficult to get around: family responsibilities, vacation, and recovery from vacation, and whatever else happened along the way. But it's nice to be with you all now. So I want to reiterate that at any time, if you have a question, please feel free to open the mic and ask whatever questions you would like to ask. It's very important that we have a back and forth and an open communication in terms of our own personal sadhana and growth. Back in the day when I began my journey with Swami, there were some great luminaries in the Sai organization, in the Sai sphere. Of course, there was always Swami, the being of light that's the source and of all, and the light of all, and the love in all. But the fact of the matter is, there was Dr. Hislop and Mr. Kasturi, and a few other great, wonderful people. And there was Phyllis Crystal and Bernice Mead and many others in America who were very ardent and sincere devotees. And in their sincerity, they shared with us uplifting stories of their own lives and experiences with Swami. So on several occasions, we had satsang, you might say, with Dr. Hislop, who is now the father of Prema Sai Baba, along with Kasturi, who's the mother of Prema Sai Baba. And I thought that was a really interesting match. But they were friends around for Shanti, and when they both heard that, they became even closer friends. I think actually Swami told Dr. Hislop that he was going to be the father after Kasturi had passed on, and he told Kasturi before he was passed on that he was going to be the mother of Prema Sai Baba. And Prema Sai Baba's advent has come, but we don't know where he is. And when he reveals himself and his mission to continue, and we hope all to be called to his journey of creating peace, love, and understanding on earth, God's kingdom on earth. So in the same similar way, I mean, we listened to Bernice Mead for years, and we listened to Phyllis Crystal for years, and we listened to other great wonders of Mr. Kasturi and others at Prashanti Nilayam, and it was very inspiring. And in that inspiration, here we are now, today. They had a very important role in our growth. From an American point of view, they were the people we listened to, and Dr. Kasturi, when we would go to Prashanti Nilayam in groups, he would talk to us, which was very wonderful to experience. So in that same spirit, I hope that today, when we share, we're not perfect. We're not going to be perfect. We're human beings, and we share from our experience in the ways that we can. But I hope you can be inspired. Take the things that work for you and leave the things that don't. If not every word is perfectly truthful for every being. And so take what works for you from our talk and leave the rest for another day, or maybe leave it. And it's fine with us. Take what works. And that's what we would like to say in an introduction. I think Roseanne may want to add a little bit to that.
Yes, we're not anything like Dr. Hislop or Mr. Kastori, but we're just here, and hopefully Swami will speak through us. So that's all.
So if we don't speak loud enough, please let us know, and let us know if you can hear us properly. And if you can't hear us properly, please open your mic and say, "Oh, please speak loud." This is a community of friends and devotees, and it should be like a familial kind of atmosphere, very not formal, informal, and we would like to keep it that way. Today's talk and meditation will be on what is Advaita, what is its relationship to being a bhakti yogi or a bhakti devotee, what's its relationship to being a jnani yogi and a jnani devotee, you might say, and what's its relationship to Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Hatha Yoga, as well as all the other yogas. What does it mean to be Advaita, and what does it mean to know Vedanta? And what does it mean to be putting that into practice on an everyday level as a Sai devotee, as a God devotee? I know that Swami in his talks, as they progressed through the years, he began to emphasize self-inquiry as the goal of all sadhana. To ask the question, who am I and what's my relationship to God? Where am I going? Where did I come from? Who am I? And he wanted us to be able to focus on that very deeply. And he did say, all paths lead to that question, and the answer to that question. Love is really important in all this. It is the essential ingredient to all sadhana. Without it, we really can't progress. We can get so far, but without real love and devotion, there is no real progression. So in the end, jnani yogis turn to bhakti, and bhakti yogis turn to jnani yogis. And in the meantime, everybody's loving all and serving all. So that's karma yoga. So we're all doing that because that's the way of God, and that's the highest level of sadhana. And Raja Yoga encompasses all those three paths simultaneously. And Hatha Yoga is for the body. While we meditate, we need a tiny bit of exercise. So stretching the body with Hatha Yoga is a very important thing if you're meditating regularly and living here. It's important. So Roseanne's going to read some things from Swami and some things from the Bhagavath Gita, perhaps, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Swami says, wisdom, jnana, is the precious ambrosia gathered from all sources of knowledge. It is the sweet, sustaining butter churned and collected from the scriptures. Wisdom isn't the capacity to discriminate and declare, this is flat, this is round. So got that. People have the ability to discriminate between something that's, say, flat and round. Or this is a hill, this is a house. These are common knowledge. Next, we may have good knowledge through jnana when one distinguishes between right and wrong, good or bad, or when you discover that a particular activity is for my betterment and others. So there's that. There's practical knowledge. There's the next one, which judges what something is right or wrong or good for all. And Swami says both wisdom and good knowledge are confined to one's intellect. Okay, that's the brain. We have the lower mind and the higher mind. And so the intellect is the higher mind, but it's still the mind. So he says, there's a higher wisdom when the heart is transformed by loyalty to truth, nonviolence, and compassion. A person with this higher wisdom understands their own self and their kinship with the cosmos and its creator. The person lives in accordance with that understanding, without doubt or disharmony. The yardstick for higher wisdom is Dharma, righteousness. The more Dharma put into practice, the more one gets rooted in the higher wisdom. So we've been talking, I believe, if you remember, we talked about the mind a lot. In meditation, our mind is sort of the workshop of finding God, because we have the mind, but then when we get into a good meditation, we go beyond the mind. The mind is still, so that we see that that's not the highest. We see that that's not the highest wisdom. We see that there's something beyond that. So, should I keep reading?
Well, let's discuss. I just want to say this. Okay. You might understand these perspectives from a deeper perspective. There's a mountain, like Arunachala, for instance, and people live at the base of Arunachala in Tiruvannamalai, and which Roseanne and I both have walked around, and I happened to go to the top when I was younger, not now. And so everybody lives at the base of Arunachala, and if they want to go to the top of Arunachala, they climb their path from their house or where they live. So, but all these different paths lead up to the top of Arunachala, and everybody meets at the top of Arunachala. And the life of sadhana for each individual on the earth who chooses to pursue spiritual practices is like that, their own individual path. Now, some paths have a lot in common, but everybody's path really is very individualized in reality. And Swami has honored everybody's individual path, no matter what the path they have. He leads all of us on to the top of Arunachala, to the top of that Shiva's mountain, to the top of our consciousness, where we all meet in oneness. And that's life, the path of life and the purpose, to meet together in love in that oneness. And from that level of understanding and eventually direct experience, even if it's intellectual, it's still valuable. It's still, if you intellectually understand this, you're free. You don't have to be reborn on this earth. However, there are a lot of people that would like to be reborn on this earth to help Swami, especially as Prema Sai Baba. That's another story, but you don't have to be. And if you just intellectually understand this oneness of love. However, as you intellectually understand it and practice it and dharmically practice it more and more, then it becomes direct experience. It becomes deeper and deeper embedded, imbued in your own conscious awareness, which it's only really revealing what's always there, what's already there. Nothing that happens in a oneness of love, that God is all and all is God and all is love and love is God. Nothing about that has ever been found, discovered, or achieved. It's something that we have inside of us, and it's just uncovered. And what is uncovering? The mind's thoughts, feelings, attachments, reactions, opinions, likes, dislikes. The basis of the ego is the mind. And when that mind is transcended, or you just say, I don't care what the mind does. I just don't care about it. I'm not it. I'm not my mind. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my feelings. Then that detachment begins to reveal consciousness. And when consciousness begins to be revealed, the next step is in revelation or revealing is the source of consciousness. which is inside us all the time. It's the fire of love that burns in our hearts and souls.
So I teach SSE Group 4, which is high school students. And this, we've been going through Jack Hawley's Bhagavad translation of the Bhagavad Gita. So the, I can't do this.
Okay, sorry. I had it. If you want to raise your hand, let me know. If you want to say anything, just say it. You don't have to chat box it, because then I have to lean forward like that.
Does someone have a question before I go into this? Let's deal with the question. What was the question?
I think it recognized that I was raising my hand and said I was raising my hand. I think it was my fault.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No questions yet on the chat.
Okay,
got
very
it,
good.
got it. Okay, so anyway, we've been going through Jack Hawley's translation of the Gita, and we're doing a chapter review, and so I say to them, what's real? In spirituality, what's real is that which never changes. Anything that changes is unreal. So then half an hour later, I say, guys, what's real? And you're like, my body. And it's such a hard thing, because I do too. The minute you stub your toe, you think you're your body. It's a very hard thing to transcend. But we very much think of ourselves as our bodies or our thoughts, our mind, or our feelings. And the work of meditation is to keep going deeper and deeper and put it into practice in life of looking, well, what changes? What is unchanging? The only thing that's unchanging is God. Everything else changes. Everything else moves, from the atoms to the stars. Everything changes. Our bodies change. The mountains may change slowly, but they change. And so that's something, it's really good that they'll know that, they'll know that as teenagers. I don't know when they'll put into practice. I hope soon, but it was just amazing to me. It made it so obvious how much we hang on to our sense that the body is real. And Sai Baba says it's not. So I just want to read a couple of things from Krishna. He says, real, as used in spirituality, means that which is eternal, never changing, indestructible. This is the definition of reality. That which is real never ceases to be. The only thing that never ceases to be is God. Anything that is impermanent, even if it lasts a very long time, eventually changes and thus does not have true reality. The wise ones understand the difference between the real and the not real. When you fully understand this profound fact, you will have attained the zenith of all knowledge. Okay, and just quickly, one's body, according to this logic, is not real. And yet, there is something that dwells within the body that is real, the Atma, which is existence itself, awareness, pure consciousness. Get to know this reality. It pervades the entire cosmos and is unchanging and indestructible. No one can change the changeless.
In other words, we were never born and we will never die. Nobody. Every human being has an indestructible Atmic relationship with the power Brahman, the absolute. And we were never born and we will never die. So think about this for a moment. Before the Big Bang, we are one with the absolute. We are that. As Swami says, who am I? I am I. That's the answer. I am I. You could say I am God, but who's God? I am I. The awareness within you is who you are. That is the absolute. And we are one with that. So before the Big Bang, we are one with that. We are that. We are. I am I. Before the Big Bang, each and every one of us. Think about that for a moment, because you can't. In thinking about that, all there is the absolute. There's nothing but the absolute. That's who you are, always. That's who everyone is here, all the time. Never anything different. So the attachment to the human form is there, yeah, right? But after 100 years or so, we all drop it. Within 100 years or so, that's it, gone. With that, the mind goes, because the body-mind connection is very steep and deep, and every one of you is beyond being attached to your mind on the other side. You wouldn't know Swami if you weren't. You've all been great yogis and yoginis in the past, great saints and sages in the past. You've all achieved great levels of, high levels of liberated consciousness in the past. This is the final journey. So when on the other side, you're beyond body, you're beyond mind, who are you? And if you get beyond the, the intellectual, the intuitive buddhi body, which is what most people go into when they're spiritual, if you get beyond that and you go into the soul body, the causal body, that's nice. But guess what? All the gods and goddesses, they are in the changing of creation. They came out of the absolute. One day they're going to be absorbed back in it. So as much as they are liberated beings, they can lead you back to the absolute. But it's the absolute, formless oneness of love that is our reality. And Swami puts it this way. There's a curtain between the absolute and creation, between the absolute and all the gods and goddesses, all the angels, all the sages, all the liberated beings. There's a curtain, and then all the souls advancing in their evolution. A curtain. And the one who knows the truth, one who is in Brahman consciousness, has pulled the curtain aside and steps back into what's behind the curtain. And all the rest, he and she leaves behind, because it's unreal. It's the ever-changing. That is what Swami has said. Pull the curtain back. Step into the absolute of who you really are, and you won't just be free. You'll be a fully liberated being, walking, talking, breathing, loving, acting on earth. Why wait? Why wait? Another thing, don't be afraid of it. It's not going to kill you. It takes 21 days of sitting in samadhi in that state of consciousness to leave the planet. I don't think anyone here is going to be allowed to be sitting in that state of consciousness for 21 days by their family members. They'll call you to dinner. Hey, Diwali's on Monday. Get out of that. Come on, light the candles. Celebrate. Hey, life's a celebration. And, there's 4 stages of liberation. There's the one we spoke about first, which is, intellectually that, this oneness of love is the reality and everything else is an illusion, but you haven't experienced it. Okay, now you're beyond mind. That's liberation. You don't have to return to earth. That's the first stage. Second stage, oh, there's God in me. Oh, that's interesting. And there's God in everybody else. Oh, that's interesting, except they're not connected yet. We haven't connected the dots yet. We understand, and we might even see the light in other people's eyes, the light in people's auras, the light that comes emanating out of their hearts and souls. You might even be able to see that. That's God. But we don't really make the connection. We treat others not quite like we would treat ourselves. There's a little gap there. So we don't treat everybody like we treat Sai Baba. We don't treat everybody like people would treat Jesus or Buddha. We don't do things like that. That's a gap. That's second stage of enlightenment. Third stage of enlightenment, there's no gap. The Sai Baba in you is the Sai Baba in me. The consciousness of oneness and love is in you, is the consciousness of oneness in me. And we know that. We just think that is true, and I live in that presence. Everyone is God, and everyone is myself, and I experience that on a daily basis. That's Brahman consciousness. That's third. Now, some people in the mountains of the Himalayas, they get to leave in that state, or the yogis who have left their family behind. When they hit that state, they often get to leave. But the Shankaracharyas of, Shankaracharyas of India, the Jyotirmath, and the one in the south, and the one in the east, and the one in the west, they live in that state, and they serve in that state. Many of the genuine ones, not all of them were genuine, but many of them were. And they live in that state, they breathe in that state. Swami, like Swami, he lives in that state and serves in that state. He lives in that state and breathes in that state and is on earth in that state. Now that is the fourth stage of enlightenment. When a being says, I'm in Brahman consciousness, or knows it, they won't say it. If they're really, truly there, they won't ever say it. But except for the avatar, he's entitled to. For people who disrespect their teacher, and the teacher is in that state, and they have to be reminded, you know who I am, something like that, but that's usually in private. But the fact is, they are in that state, and they love in that state, they serve in that state. So if they're in the yogis in the Himalayas, they just leave when they get to that, because they're free. But there are some that don't. And those are sought out by society in India to serve in roles like Shankaracharya and other roles that are equally as important, you might say, heads of religions. But
usually they're hidden.
Very much.
I have a good story for that. There's someone, Arnold Schulman, he wrote an early Sai Baba book, and he works in Hollywood. He's probably retired now. But I worked with someone who was a friend of his. So one day he comes to me, and Arnold was meditating, and he came out of just his meditation, and there was several days worth of newspapers at his door. He was very freaked out. So,
he said he was going to not meditate for a while after
no,
that
he
one.
didn't say that.
3 days of newspapers at his door.
Yeah.
He sat down just like this to meditate.
Right.
He was in his house alone.
So you never know what, just anybody, that could be in that state, and we just don't know. And that's why we have to respect everyone as the divine, because we're all capable of that. It's just something that that is our birthright. And it just takes sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it doesn't. And a lot of it is just sitting, being willing to sit and let God take care of it.
So just remember, when we do meditate in a few minutes, and I'm going to take a rest moment, but the fact is, just remember this. When you're meditating, who is it that's meditating? If God is the doer of everything, let God meditate in you too. Sit and say, God, Swami, meditate in me. Bring me to that highest truth, that fullness of devotion and love. Bring me to that state of oneness, of love. Swami's always saying, be one, be one, be one. But to be one, we have to let go of the attachments and the desires of this world. Easiest way to do it, just imagine, just think, who were you before the Big Bang? Everything disappears. Or who are you going to be after the 100 years you've been here on Earth? It all disappears. Why not give it up ahead of time? Why not beat God to the game? As some of my beautiful teachers have said, Hilda Charlton and others. Why not beat God to the game? Give it up now. Why wait till the end? So right now I'm going to give up something in the restroom. Roseanne's going to continue. A fault of my genetics. Thanks so much.
So Krishna says, the Atma, this real us, was never born, nor will it ever die. In fact, this eternal reality within is never destroyed. It never undergoes any changes. When your ego takes over and you erroneously identify yourself with the body, you feel that the physical death is death to the self, and that is frightening. But the self, the Atma, can never be killed. When the body is slain, the Atma remains unaffected. The one who understands this principle of Atma, the true self within, that is eternal, indestructible, and changeless, realizes that at this level of comprehension, there's no dying. As a person sheds a worn-out garment, the dweller within the body casts aside its time-worn human frame and dons a new one. We were never born. Krishna says, we were never born, nor will the Atma ever die. That is our true self. Our true self is not the body. The indweller, the self, the Atma, remains unaffected by all worldly changes. It is not wounded by weapons, burned by fire, dried out by wind, or wet by water. This indwelling self is all-pervading. It is everywhere. It is also eternal and changeless because it is beyond the worldly dimension of time. Time has no access to it. So just feel what that is. When Krishna says the Atma was never born, nor will it ever die. Just feel the reality within you. And that's what we're going to meditate on.
Does Krishna actually say you were never born, you will never die?
Yes, you missed it.
I did. Can you read that again, please? I thought it was only Swami that said it.
No, chapter 2. The Atma, the real us, was never born, nor will it ever die. In fact, this eternal reality within is never destroyed. It never undergoes any changes. When your ego takes over and you erroneously identify yourself with the body, you feel that physical death is death to the self, and that is frightening. But the self, the Atma, can never die. When the body is slain, the Atma remains unaffected. The one who understands this principle of Atma, the true self within, that is eternal, indestructible, and changeless, realizes that at this level of comprehension, there is no slaying and no causing another to slay.
And so he inspired Arjuna to slaughter his family. All his relatives.
Everyone is his family.
That's right.
And they were never born and they would never die.
The irony of planet Earth. We think what's bad is what's good is bad, and what's bad is good. That's the irony of planet Earth, when it's all God's will. Even as Swami said once to all of us, even the blade of grass that blows in the wind blows exactly according to my will. I am the doer of everything. And he also said, when we had problems with things in the world, he said, leave the world to me. You worry about who you are and find out. Leave the rest of it to me. I'm in charge and I know what I'm doing. I hope. Swami, what are you doing?
Sometimes it feels like that. But he has a plan. And we can't get attached to anything, so
that's all he needs is a guy, Jewish Brooklyn kid, saying, "Swami, what are you doing? For God's sake!"
Not letting you be attached.
Well, you fixed things down here already. What's the matter with you? All right, so let's go. Let's close our eyes. Let's meditate. Let's be free. Oh.
Breathe in. Hold it a second. And breathe out. Breathe in again. Just feel the relaxing body when the breath flows in, and then breathe out. All the thoughts of the day, let them disappear. Breathe in again. Hold it. And breathe out. Let everything go. Everything we think we are, everything we think we need, just let it go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Do this at your own pace for a few minutes and just let go. Whatever comes into the mind, just let it go on the outgoing breath. You don't need anything. If your mind wanders, just bring it back gently to your breath. Just let go of everything that comes into the mind. And disappear on the outgoing breath. You can ask, is that real? Is that thought about something that's real? If we have a thought of God, that's contemplation. And we just let that love of God grow in us. But everything else, we just let go. Look at it, let go. Just keep breathing in deeply, holding it, and breathe out. Just let go of everything. If the body hurts, you just say, am I the body? Is this really me? And you can send God's love to whatever might hurt. But it's not us. What is it that changes? Look into it. We're babies, and we grow into children, and we're youthful, and we're middle-aged, and we're older. Body is constantly changing. And at some point, it's worn out, and we drop it. Who is it that drops it? Who is it that's the same during childhood, adulthood, old age? Find the sameness in yourself, that spark of God. Who is it that always watched compassionately whatever was happening, the good or the bad? Who is it that watched our life progress? Who loves us no matter what we do? If our mind goes on and on ruminating about the past, who is it that just loves us and tells us that none of that is real? Past is past. Look at yourself. Look at the mind, memories. Something comes up. What is it that we're holding on to? Are we holding on to that or letting it go? Are we our feelings? Those feelings that come and go. Is that our true self? Who is it that watches all that emotion up and down? Atma, deep within us. This wonderful feeling of just being free of the emotions. We have no reality. We might have had so many different emotions during the day, but now they were sitting just with God, no one else. Oh, they all disappear into the light. They have no reality. We have thoughts of the future. Future hasn't come. What reality does that have? Let's place all our fears into the hands of God, Atma within us that guides us. It's one with Sai Baba, one with everything. It knows everything, understands everything, penetrates deeply into the reality. My thoughts Atma burns within this beautiful, wonderful being who we are, untouched. Atma is not wet by rain or burned by fire. Has neither hunger nor thirst. Never gets annoyed. Never fears the future. Let's blow those clouds of unknowing away. And then our true self firmly stand beyond the body, beyond the mind. Let it go. Only the Atma exists.
Let the mind dwell in Om. And whenever it leads to other thoughts and you notice, bring it back gently, easily, and effortlessly to Om. Bring that mind to the forehead with a light in the forehead like the sun or a candle flame, and then let it rise to the top of the head like the sun rises from dawn in the morning of consciousness through the inner consciousness to high noon at the top of the head. The whole body automatically fills with light and becomes the temple of God, the true use of it. Love, 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 deeper and deeper. The mind will calm down as you think on Om and love more deeply. You can see the light within you, fine, but you don't have to. It's not necessary. Just love and the awareness of Om will take you the whole way. God within you is acting upon what you perceive to be you, which was the ego. God within you is overriding the mind, transcending it, dissolving the ego. God within you is free always and is being magnified by the presence of love and Swami's relationship with you as a devotee. God within you is full and Purnamidam, Purnamida. God within you is the Purnamidam. All this is full. Om, I am. And all other thoughts dissolve into that. Let them go. They don't have to disappear. Yogis don't have disappearing thoughts. They just don't pay any attention to them. They are true to their own real, true self. God within. Om, I am the absolute. I am God. I am not different from God. Om, live in that for a moment. Be that for a moment. Let the doubting, lying mind that has its foundation in the ego of separation and individual doership, let that lie dissolve into the truth this moment that will set you free forever. Om, I am. This consciousness of who you are cannot be contained in a small body that is 5 feet or 6 feet by 2 by 3 or something like that. It cannot be contained within this limited space because this space is an illusion. It's a dream. This is a dream. Wake up. Just like you do at night when you go to sleep, you wake up from the daydream. Then you have a night dream. Then in deep sleep, you wake up from both. All there is God. Become aware of it now. Become aware of what we experience in deep sleep for 3 hours a night, every night. Become aware of it now. I and my Father, Mother, God are one. Swami and I are one. Swami is the doer. God is the doer. I am God. I am no different from God. I am the indivisible, supreme, absolute. Satchitananda, truth, consciousness, awareness, bliss. I am that I am. The indivisible, supreme, absolute. Om. I take off the Halloween costume and reveal the truth that sets us free. I am that I am. Om Aham Brahmasmi. Om. Let that truth rise through the top of the head and spread all around you, because consciousness of oneness can no longer be contained within a small body called the temple. It just has to be shining out like the sun onto everything and everyone that you think on. Your community, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your acquaintances, your so-called enemies who set us free by teaching us unconditional love. All are to be loved and served. All, love all, serve all. That's life. The truth of life. Oh, that's Swami's life, Swami's mission. That's your mission this moment. We are one. We are one. We are one. Love, love, love. Let that light shine of consciousness unto everyone this moment. Same God in you is the same God in everyone, and everything, everywhere, all the time. It's only the Father, Mother, God. Shine out to the countryside, to the nations of the world, to the whole world. Shine out. I am. I am. Om. Sunlight of God's love. I am that I am. Om. Anytime the mind wanders away, if the mind wanders away, just bring it back gently, easily, effortlessly, or lock on to the truth like a laser beam if you can. Lock on to the truth that sets you free, never to return back to the illusion, never to return back to ignorance, from mortality to immortality. Om, I am that I am. Om Tat Sat Om, I am that I am. Om. Keep expanding. The whole universe was asked, who are you? Every atom of it stood up and said, I am I. Oh, universe, body of God. And we are in that, the ocean. Raindrops returning to the ocean. Ah, the ocean. We are that. Oh, I am. No labels needed. I am not this, I am not that. I am, just I am. Consciousness itself. Awareness itself. Truth itself. Love itself. I am. Om. Swami, take us home, please. Leave us in our physical bodies, but take our conscious awareness home. Let us be one. Om. I am that I am. So the whole universe turns to love, it turns to light, it turns to the awareness. I am that I am. The whole universe shines with the light of a million suns. Om. Billions, trillions, billions. All is light and love. Everything, everywhere, every time, all the time, everyone. Om, God in disguise. The absolute in form. Om. Let everything else go. All that you thought you are, become who you really are. Never mind what others think you are. Let go of who you think you are. Be who you really are. Om. Now, for those who would like to take a step further, the source of consciousness, be that. Take the curtain aside, step into the absolute, and realize we were never born and we will never die. I was never born, I will never die. I am the eternal oneness of love in the absolute. I am that which is and always will be, before the creation, before the Big Bang. I am. I am I. We are all that. Be that for a moment. Don't be afraid. Be free. Beyond all form, beyond all name, be free. Swami, pull the curtain aside for us and show us the truth that sets us free for eternity. I am that I am. Om Tat Sat Om. Pranamida, Pranamidam. Om Tat Sat. Hum Brahmasmi. Om. Keep letting everything else go, all the attachments, all the desires, let them go. The illusion, the dream has ended. I am that I am. Om. Be that who you are and always have been and always will be. The absolute in human form, now just the absolute. Let go of the form in your mind. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I am that I am. Swami. Grant us your love and grace. Swami, reveal this in us, please, Swami. Shri Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Prema Sai Baba. Om Jai Jai. when the avatar comes in three forms, as Shirdi Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, and Prema Sai Baba, how can any one of those forms only be the avatar? All three of them. And so it is with us. All our forms, all our names are the avatar, are God incarnate. Let it come, that awareness. Don't feel inferior. Let every act go. It was all the will of God anyway. God did everything. Just shades of different gunas. That's all it was. But it was always God doing everything. Always will be and always is. Let it go. The ego thinks, oh, I can't be that good. I can't be God in oneness. I did this, I did that. That's all ego. Let it go. Let it go. Burn it in the fire of love. The yagna, the divine yagna of love. Throw it in there. Be free. Free by the grace of the divine. Be free by Swami's grace. Oh, I have. That I have. Take a step even deeper into this consciousness, not for yourself to be free, but for all beings everywhere to be freer, and to eventually be free. We had a great yogi friend named Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar, who Swami sent us to many times, Roseanne and I, secretly. And he said before he passed into Mahasamadhi, he said, I will return to this earth until every last grain of sand on the last beach is fully liberated. Be that. God, human form, freeing all, loving all, serving all. I am that I am. Meditate for that purpose, and you'll be freer and freer and freer every moment, waking moment, living love, walking love, talking love, serving in love, being love in action. Om. Live for the love in others and the love in yourself shines like a million suns. Hold it just for a few more minutes. Go deeper, be more and more determined to find the truth of who you are. If you're having difficulty with the mind, don't worry. I had difficulty with my mind for 50 years. Don't worry. Just be free and know those are only clouds in the sky of consciousness, coming and going. That's all they are. Love more. Dig that love. Dig to that ocean, an aquifer of love within you. Dig deeper. Find it. It's there. God in you is. You have desires, don't worry about that. Just turn them over to God and say, God, you fulfill my desires. All the dharmic desires will be fulfilled. That's our dharma. Those that we don't need, let God decide what you need and you don't need. Turn it over. Let God take it on. Put it on God's shoulders, all your desires. What needs to be fulfilled by dharmic necessity will be. We are householders in this world. We're not yogis in caves. We are householders in this world. And as such, Swami said, when householders find full liberation, it can be said, even though they're the same as yogis who have full liberation, that they have found it in a more difficult way, and so their souls are greater because the strength to do that is more. It takes more strength in this world of householdership to find who you really are than the yogis that renounce the world, go into caves and sit finding themselves, which they do. Swami feeds them too. This is God's love. Your life is God's love in action. God's love breathes in you, breathes in me, breathes in us all. God's love is. Oh, take us, Swami, we are yours. Take us, Swami, we are yours. Take us, Swami, we are yours. I am that I am. So now be aware of where you are in your consciousness. Take inventory, how you feel, especially compared to how you felt before meditating this evening. Be aware of who you are and how you feel right now. Be aware of the truth that sets you free. Make it conscious, make it real. And breathe it back into this temple of the body, into the altar of the heart. Begin to come back. Take your time. Keeping the eyes closed for a good 3 minutes at least. Let's coming back into the body. Taking your time, in your own time. You don't have to right now if you don't want to. Put it for those who want to. Coming down in, coming down, back into the body. This tree of life that we live in. And as we do come back in, let's own for peace, love, and understanding in this world. Let's own for the God within every being to get along with each other. Let's own that all strife and struggle cease because people wake up to the God within themselves and they realize love is the way. Love is the only way. It's all about love, giving and forgiving, loving all and serving all. Peace unto the world. God's peace unto the world. Swami's grace unto the world. Ganesha, Skanda, Shiva, Mahaparvati, Durga Ma, Saraswati Ma, Lakshmi Ma, may Kali Ma and all the forms of the Divine Mother come and light up this world, make us free, the whole world. Let God's mission be accomplished here on earth, through us and through everyone we think on. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May Swami's love be with you all. May Swami's love be lit within your lives and flow forth unto others. Don't hide it under a bushel, under a basket. Live the love that Swami has given us. You don't have to talk about it necessarily. You just have to be it. People will be healed and understand and be led into their divinity that way. All people. Just be it. That's loving service. So take your time to come back into this body, coming down into the heart center, rooting yourself in the Mother Earth, Uma. Be free, like trees in the forest. We have our blood life flowing through to the spiritual roots of our inner energies, right into the core of the Mother Earth, like tree roots. Travel into the ground. We connect with the core of the heart of the Mother Earth, Uma. Gives us life, these physical bodies, groundedness, these physical bodies. The leaves of these trees in the heavens, the light of God, soaking up the truth of life, our spiritual reality, and living it here, strong like sequoias, redwoods, oaks, living it strongly on earth. Walking, talking, breathing, embodiments of love, loving all and serving all. That's our purpose here, giving and forgiving. That's our purpose. So when you feel ready, you slowly open your eye. Thank you, God. Thank you, Swami. And while you're opening your eyes, we're just going to do Swami's puja. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Swami Satya Sai Hare Bhakta Janana Samrakshaka Bhakta Janana Samrakshaka Bhakti Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Shashivadana Shrikara Pranapate Swami Sava Pranapate Ashrita Kalpalatika Ashrita Kalpalatika Atpat Bandava Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Guru Deva Mumariya Munive Swami Maria Tamunive Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nagendra Shayana Om Jai Jagadish Hare Om Kara Rupa Jai Sri Om Sai Mahadeva Satya Sai Mahadeva Mangala Harati Anduko Mangala Harati Anduko Mandara Giridari Om Jai Jagadish Hare Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sat Guru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sat Guru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sat Guru Deva Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Bo Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba Ji the Ki.
Jai.
You are the Antarayami. You are the indwelling Swami. Narayana lives in our hearts, in our beings. Not outside, inside. And knowing the inside, then you can see the outside as well. That's the truth that sets us free. Diwali, you are the Diwali. You are the lit candles of Diwali. You are the light of Diwali. Now that you've experienced. So anybody have any questions or want to share any experience tonight or otherwise? Total silence.
Oh, good. Everyone's in the absolute. Very good.
We just forgot ourselves.
Aaron, brother, this was a lovely session. Feel very refreshed. Thank you so much.
I pray that you are refreshed more and more each and every moment. You can do this on your own at home. Just have to get the real truth, set it aside, believe it, live it, believe it, experience it, live it.
Sairam, I just want to say thank you so much. All the passion you put into the meditation tonight, it was amazing as always. Thank you.
Thank you. Swami's grace is with us.
all the words that you spoke through the meditation, both of you, I felt like I'm coming back from being lost. I felt like the last few months I've just been a little bit lost, and this has really brought me kind of back to myself. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
We're very happy, Sairam.
Sairam.
Very happy.
Sairam.
Thank you both very much. It was joyous to be brought back out of the world a bit and get back to who I am and let some of the tensions and things that have built up just fade away. So thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, thank you, Jay. Your voice is totally recognizable anywhere in the universe.
Anywhere in the universe.
Anybody have any questions or anybody want to share anything? We have a few more minutes.
Okay, they did it. They're all excited. All right.
It's fantastic. Beyond name, beyond form. This is good.
Yep.
So is next month okay, Brother Alan, Sister Roseanne,
Yeah.
November 16th?
November 16th. Good.
Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're happy to be here. Finally, again. Took a while.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you very, very-
learned from you, and we did it during the Labor Day weekend. We did the subconscious cleansing meditation.
Oh,
It
Oh,
was-
that's nice.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, we'll do that again sometime. We'll pump it up a little bit.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would be nice to do
this
again.
was a good learning experience, and to share it with more people, it was good.
As long as we're human beings, we have a subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind has to be emptied as long as we're human beings. So regular practice of that is a very good, important thing. All the yagnas are actually symbolic of cleansing of the subconscious mind. We say cleansing the atmosphere, but the atmosphere is the subconscious mind being reflected from every human being. Plus, when we do yagnas, we don't just cleanse the atmosphere, we cleanse our inner atmosphere. That's the subconscious. And the conscious mind, if need be. So, thank you. Do you want to end with prayers for your side, Prasanna?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yes.
No, somebody had a question.
Yes.
I have a question. It's
Yes.
Nero.
Hi.
Hi. I noticed that when I meditate, and it's been like this for a long, long time, I get deep, and then the mind just keeps referring back to the body, back to the body, back to the body, and I just don't know what to do with that.
Oh, that process is perfect. And the reason that happens is very important. As we meditate, our layers of karma are getting dissolved. So the deeper meditations dissolve deeper levels of karma. That's all lifetimes. So when that karma dissolves, that lifetime of action reaction in that moment, the mind will kick back into thoughts. So actually thoughts in meditation and feelings that are other than what we're meditating upon are actually a sign that the meditation is working. So there's two things that happen with the mind. First, the mind is always going to be active. It's like the wind. You can't stop it. It's going to have thoughts and feelings, but you can transcend it. But when you do transcend the mind, then you're going into dissolving deeper levels of karma, layers of karma in all the five bodies, not just the physical body, all the five bodies, including the causal body. You think there's no karma in the causal body. The causal body has a form. Therefore, because it has a form, it has karma, even though it is directly related to God. But we don't know what we've done in causal relationship to God. But there is something that was done. There was some individuation process. You can just see the gods and goddesses. Not all the goddesses and goddesses are liberated. All the ones that we worship are, but all of them are not. They have to have incarnation on earth to be liberated. All the gods and goddesses have to come to earth to prove their true selfless love, forgiveness, and everything. So,
and that they go beyond duality. That's the only thing that life on earth is about. It's going beyond duality.
so when we're meditating, Even when we're having a really deep, wonderful meditation, the mind will kick up because the karma that is being burned up kicks it, like just, it's like smoke that comes out of the fire, and it makes the mind a little active in thought and feeling. And then we just go back to Om. We don't fight the mind ever, though. Don't ever fight the mind. Just let it be and hand it over to Swami. Say, Swami, you're the meditator within me. You do it. You'll have perfect meditations every time, even if you might be thinking and feeling other things. Perfect meditations are not no thought or feelings. Perfect meditations are just coming back to God, coming back to God, coming back to God all the time, coming back to the God within you and all around you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
What exactly is causal body? I have some confusion about it.
Soul. Consciousness.
They're the koshas. Yeah.
No, it's the innermost, but what is it? What exactly is causal body? It's not
Okay,
the
so-
Anandamaya kosha. It's
Right.
beyond that. So what exactly we call it? Would you say it's the soul, or what is soul? Which is
No,
responsible for bringing us
causal
back
body is
and back.
Anandamaya kosha. Causal body
No,
is
I
Ananda.
don't. I don't think so. I thought causal body is even beyond Anandamaya kosha.
So there's 5 bodies,
Yes,
right? The
yes,
food body, the physical body, the
yes.
energy body, pranayama.
Anamaya kosha, yeah.
Then there's the mental body.
Manomaya kosha,
Then there's the Buddhic body, the intuitive body.
the Vijnanamaya kosha, or
Correct.
Jnanamaya kosha.
And
Yeah.
then there's the Anandamaya kosha,
Yeah.
the 5th body,
Bliss.
bliss. That is the soul. That is the causal body. Causal body is the light body.
But the Atma is beyond all of them.
The Atma is, oneness. But
I
the thing
thought
is,
causal body was beyond the
No.
Anandamaya kosha. That
No.
is the one that's responsible for rebirth. The causal body moves from one to the other,
right,
along with
but
mental kosha,
that
mental
is the
body.
Anandamaya kosha that moves from one to the other. That's the Anandamaya kosha. Now you're thinking of, well, when Krishna takes on a light body and appears to me, what is that? That is, he's taking on a light body to appear. You understand this? When you have a
No.
vision, that vision of Shiva or Parvati or Durga Ma or any god, goddess, or angel, you should always challenge, because visions don't mean truth necessarily. You have to say, in Swami's name, who are you? In the name of Satya Sai Baba, who are you? Swami says you have to challenge every vision, because some visions come from the negative because they like to cheat, but there's always a flaw. But you have to challenge 3 times. In the name of Satya Sai Baba, who are you? In the name of Satya Sai Baba, who are you? In the name of Satya Sai Baba, who are you? Then that causal body that they've taken on, that is the light body. It's the same thing as the Anandamaya kosha, but they don't have one. They create it to appear to us. So
Does that make sense?
Well, I understand what you're saying. So, I usually don't have visions of goddesses and gods and all that. I usually have dreams about Baba where I see Baba himself. But I don't usually focus on other deities and stuff, because my connection is with Sai Baba. Other things I've heard of and read about them and all that, but that doesn't seem that important to me.
So when Swami appears in your dreams, he always says, it's me, you can't conjure me up. And he's using a causal body, the Anandamaya kosha, he's creating it to appear in your dream.
Well, he doesn't always say it's me. It's very obvious it's him. I mean, it looks like him, acts like him. And, there's something beautiful about it, fills me with Anand, but
Right.
he doesn't have to say, I am such and such.
No, he doesn't have to say.
Yeah, I had a dream where he looked very different.
Mhm.
It looked, so I wasn't sure what it was. Mentally, I thought it should be him, but it didn't look like him. So I thought maybe it was some trick of my mind. But usually when he comes in my dream, he looks like himself.
That's good. You should pray. Before I go to bed at night, I say, Swami, please teach me in my dreams. Please teach me on the other planes. Please take care of me. Please appear in my dreams.
Yeah.
I always ask him to do that.
And there's
I
always
also always ask him to come to my dream. He doesn't always listen to me,
Well, he won't listen, but he could ask.
But I do pray almost every night. Please come in my dream. It's been a while, you know.
Yeah, no. And you know what? For a lot of people, he loves dearly and teaches dearly, but he won't appear in the dreams because he wants us to go beyond name and go beyond form.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
he won't compromise that sometimes.
You know, it's kind of interesting. My grandson is very much into Taekwondo. So Baba came to him in a dream in a doja where they do Taekwondo, and he was doing all the actions of Taekwondo. He was tumbling and doing ha, like they're doing Taekwondo, and he was so thrilled, you know, because it relates to people at their own level.
That's right.
So that was very enjoyable to him. I said, that's interesting.
That's beautiful. How old is he?
He's in his 20s, mid-20s.
Oh, that's amazing. Good for
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Swami once came to me. He was in a yellow, like sport, you know, like a high school sports jacket, you know, with the sleeves and the whole thing. It was yellow. And he was wearing dungarees.
Yeah.
And we were walking along down the road. And then we were walking like pals, like best friends. And then he kicked me in my butt with his foot as we were walking along. And I was like,
cute.
Swami. He can power around. He's fantastic. He's beyond everything and everyone. He's not limited by any particular way or form.
Yeah, maybe I can share another story with you. I had this photo of Baba, which he had, which was signed with love Baba, you know, in an interview room. He had given me that photo. So where I lived before, there was a black husband and wife who owned the shoe shop where they repaired shoes. And they had a lot of other photos on their walls, you know, with the Martin Luther King or other, you know, their black people that admired. So out of love, I gave them that picture of Baba, you know. I thought I will get another one from Baba with his signature when I have another interview. But after that, they stopped giving us, we couldn't take any, you know, pictures inside that we would have Baba's sign. And those people, they had kept that picture in their window. So people would look at it, they often entered, said, who is this man? Oh, this is Sai Baba, he's here. So one time I said, can I have that picture back? I'll give you another photo, Baba. And they said, no, we won't do that. And then they told me, you know, he came to our shop. He was wearing a yellow gown. He held my wife's hand and they described what he had said. And he said, you know, he said to them, you know, there are shops like this in Delhi. They were so thrilled with this experience that Baba actually visited them in Chicago in their shop. Wow. There's amazing things when Baba does. So naturally, they would not give me that photo back, you know.
Good
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for sharing beautiful. That. Yeah. Well, Sai Ram, it's been a wonderful evening and thank you for joining
us. Sai Ram, and thank you.
Yeah. So let's bring it to, yeah.
Sai Prasanna, do you want to end with a prayer?
Sure.
Please.
Swami, thank you for this wonderful experience of feeling you and getting to you within us through this meditation session. Please continue to guide us through this path as we meet again next month. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, all of you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Sai
Thank
Ram.
you, Prasanna.
Thank you so much.